Okay, I just rewatched the first two episodes of House of the Dragon, and baby, this family needs therapy immediately. Not next season, now. Because why does everybody in Westeros communicate through chaos? Nobody talks. Nobody processes emotions. Everybody out here stealing dragon eggs, starting wars, marrying your best friend, and making catastrophic decisions before breakfast. And I have questions, mainly why didn't anybody listen to Rhaenyra? Because that girl solved more problems in 2 episodes than the entire small council combined. And then they treated her like straight street booty. I'm Michelle. This is Leopard Entertainment, and child, we going to Westeros. Episode 1 was called The Heirs of the Dragon. Oh my goodness, when the music started, it was so reminiscent of old Game of Thrones. Oh, I was like, you hear the theme song and then you saw the dragon fly and I was like, I'm like, we are back, y'all. We are back. All right. First of all, King Jaehaerys had to call a great council because his heirs died and they had to have an heir to the throne. Now, the first possible person that should have been there was his granddaughter, Rhaenys, but she has a vagina. So he called a great council. And so they were like, all right, it was between her and Viserys. The great council chose a man. And so Viserys became king. Now he's king. He's sitting on the Iron Throne. He's deeply overwhelmed, okay? Because that throne is kicking his ass. This man is trying so hard to keep everybody happy. Nobody is helping him. But anyways, his wife is pregnant. He had this vision that he was going to have a son. His wife is pregnant, and Viserys desperately wants a son. In Westeros, a daughter who rides dragons and who has common sense still doesn't qualify because why? She has a vagina. Meanwhile, Daemon exits. And honestly, that alone is enough to stress out the whole kingdom because Daemon, every time he walks into a room, he chooses violence every single time. Like HR never existed, ever. And the small council is panicking. Everybody's stressed out. The queen goes into labor and baby, oh my goodness. This is where the show says, oh, you thought this was a fantasy series like Bridgerton? No, it's not like that at all. Here, we do trauma here, okay? We do hella trauma here because Viserys gets put in an impossible situation and has a decision to make that changes everything. Child, the entire future of Westeros is built on this moment right here. And Rhaenyra watches it all happen. Viserys names Rhaenyra as his heir to the throne. Why? He had to make the decision to do a medieval C-section. Of course, that killed his wife. Now he's traumatized. Now Rhaenyra was named the heir to the throne, which sounds great. But until you realize nobody in Westeros actually intends to respect this decision at all, now here come the shenanigans. Episode 2 is called Rogue Prince. And of course, the Rogue Prince is none other than Daemon himself. Child, Daemon already out here. He done stole the egg. He stole the egg that was supposed to be for Viserys' now dead child and took it with him along with his concubine, his girlfriend. Then he moved into a brothel and he was out there swanging, okay? Swanging. And then he declared himself the heir. It was just a casual Tuesday. That's what we do on Tuesdays around here. On Tuesdays, we be swanging in the brothel. Okay. Anyway, the small council sent out soldiers and all kinds of stuff because, of course, they want to try to diffuse the situation. Rhaenyra was like, actually, let me handle this. And baby, and did. She flew off to Dragonstone alone, faced Daemon by herself, got the egg back, solved the crisis, no war, no unnecessary drama, and showed impressive leadership. Gotta give it to your girl. But did she get credit for it? Of course not. Because patriarchy be patriarching. And then Viserys decide in this episode that it's time to remarry. People gotta move on eventually. We know this. But why are you marrying her best friend? That is creepy. But then again, there was a situation where the Velaryons sent in their 12-year-old daughter. I don't know. She was hella... Where is Child Protective Services? Okay, that's number one. Okay, I know they're into incest and all this other kind of crazy shit on the show, but where is Child Protective Services? Anyways, he decided he didn't want to do that. okay? Because I guess he didn't want to get hung up by medieval CPS, but instead he decided to marry Rhaenyra's best friend without warning her, without preparing her first, without even having a conversation, okay? Rhaenyra is already grieving her mama, and now this mess, a pure mess. Child, let's talk about this, because House of the Dragon is not just dragons. This is a show about emotionally damaged people with power, making terrible decisions in expensive wigs. Poor Rhaenyra, surrounded by men who keep explaining things to her like she's stupid or something. She already understands better than they do. That girl solved the Dragonstone problem in 10 minutes. The entire small council was ready to start a war, and Rhaenyra said, bitch, move out the way, okay? Y'all just doing too much. Just too much. Then flew over there herself on dragonback alone. Problem solved. No bloodshed, no mess, no drama. And did anybody say anything? No. Wow, Rhaenyra, excellent leadership skills. No, they didn't say that. They acted like she just turned in some paperwork early or something. And Viserys, oh, child, Viserys stressed me out spiritually. He loves Rhaenyra. We know this. I actually believe that he loves Rhaenyra, but every decision he makes creates another problem for her. Sir, you cannot name this girl heir, then spend the next 2 episodes undermining her every chance you get. That is not support. That is confusion. That is mixed signals. That is emotional damage. What are we doing? And then there's Alicent. Now, hold on. I know people love to immediately blame her, but see, right now, what had happened was Alicent is getting manipulated too. Her daddy, Otto Hightower, that backbiting scum of the earth. Ooh, don't get me started on this dude. This man is a political pimp. He was big pimping, spin the cheese, just pimping. Why are you sending your teenage daughter to comfort a grieving king in her mama old dresses? Sir, what are we doing here? Where is Child Protective Services? Somebody need to call Child Protective Services on Otto Hightower ass. And Alicent, she doesn't even fully realize what is happening yet. She thinks she's being helpful. Meanwhile, Otto over there like, yes, excellent. Get emotionally attached to my child. Sir, jail. Immediately. Jail. Because Otto Hightower wants his blood on the throne so bad, and he is absolutely willing to use Alicent to get there. Now, Alicent herself, at this point in the story, I don't think Alicent is malicious yet, but I think she's scared. I think she's lonely. I think she wants approval. I think she is trying to survive in a system where women only get power through the attachment to powerful men. Anyways, I got my eye on her, okay? I'm watching you, girl. Once people start learning how power works, then they can really make that shift fast in Westeros. Let's talk about Daemon. Yo, Daemon, every day he wakes up and chooses violence and chaos. That is his ministry. That is his calling. That is his spiritual gift. Every time that man walks on the scene, immediately, what kind of foolishness are we going to be in for today? Because that's what is giving all the time. What are those experiences we're going to have today, sir? Because this man right here, he stole dragon eggs. He moved into a brothel. He antagonized the crown. He started a political crisis just for kicks and giggles, just because he didn't have his way. Somehow he was doing it with charisma and style, looking so nice with his white hair or golden tresses or whatever, okay? He still got the charisma, and that's dangerous because he can walk into a room, charm the pants. Oh, he was swanging. And if you saw the episode, if you know, you saw it. That's dangerous. That's why everybody's stressed, child. Every episode, I'm gonna ask you this question. After these first 2 episodes, where do you stand? Are you team black or team green? Now, I know we officially not there yet, but based on these first 2 episodes, are y'all leaning towards Rhaenyra? Because that's team black. Because baby, be watching everybody real carefully if I was y'all, because they need therapy. So the blacks are Rhaenyra's side. The greens are to come. You'll see. It's gonna happen. That's Allison and all them other folks. Who you with? I'm team black all day, every day. And what? Twice on Sunday. All right. The next question I want to ask you is, who needs therapy? Okay. Who needs therapy in Westeros? If you already don't know, this is my answer. Drop in the comments who you think need therapy. This is who I think need therapy. Pola Tink Tink. Little Viserys, look at him. Please, somebody get him a grief counselor, get him a succession planner, literally anything. Anything besides the small council, because those, oh my God. We're going to get to the next question that I have, and they number one with a bullet. All right. So who annoyed me the most? The small council. Straight up, no chaser. Collectively as a unit, every last one of them got on my nerves. So that, my friends, was the episode. Next week, we're going to be covering episodes 3 and 4. And child, the time jumps start. New faces, new chaos, higher stakes, more emotional damage. So subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I'm Michelle. This is Leopard Chew Entertainment, and we're just getting started in Westeros. See you in the next video.